when I was eating that octopus, and he just sent me the picture. And I wrote back to him.
It wasn't on the menu, Dave. He just saw one in a tank and fucking jumped in.
Get it, you hairy cocksucker. Get it, you Greek bastard. Get it over here. He just texted me a picture of it, and I just wrote back, cock eaten. And he wrote back, is there any other kind?
What did your therapist say that was so great? Sorry to catch a MidCock Cocktail.
I know. About the life and death thing, I said it's a panicking, just overwhelming fear I have of death, that I could just die at any second, that tomorrow was promised to no one, and that I don't have enough time to get things done, and then I start to worry about dying because, blah, blah, blah. And she goes, look, I get where your fears are coming from. She goes, you got to flip it in the other direction, though, and you got to go, I might not have tomorrow, so then I got to live today like it's to the
turn
fullest.
The frown upside down, man.
Yeah, that's basically what she said, and it helped me.
So she's like a third grade camp counselor, essentially. Hey, you know what? You got to live for today, man.
Well,
come on, macaroni art. Joe's like, look what I made with sand.
I know.
A different colored sand, JJ.
On our first day, she skimmed it with that, and that was a good first notion. But we're getting much deeper into where it all comes
third episode, she's like annoyed at your fear of death, and she's like, "Hey, look."
No, she's not annoyed at all. No.
Pretty gal.
She's not. No, she's not. Well, I mean, she's not. She's an older woman. She's not unattractive.
You
she's
like
an
older women.
Yeah, but she.
Let's talk. Let's get away from the therapist because we need more jokes.
Yeah. Do you want to be funny now?
There is a thing with you. I heard Bobby Kelly talking about it on Opie and Anthony. You guys have a weird attraction to like 60-year-old women.
I do like an older woman.
Yeah, but an older woman is 40. That's or 50. Like Lauren Hutton is 60, and you go, that's pushing it.
But an older woman is not an older woman. When you're 35, 40 is not older woman anymore.
It is older than the people you used to think were hot.
I like an older woman that makes me go, wow, she's older than me. And
how old are you?
35.
Okay. So you, like, what's the at Joe Derosa comedy? What's the Joe Derosa wheelhouse of age? Well,
an attractive 50 or 55-year-old would turn me on quite a great deal right
60?
now. If she's hot, yeah.
Susan Sarandon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know, she's a bad example because she's actually really pretty.
I would, yeah.
She's like this big, too, in real life. She's like an inch high.
She's taller than an inch.
No, she's in it. She's a pocket Sarandon.
Come on, that's ridiculous.
She's like little Eddie Vedder. She's the same size as him.
Is he tiny?
He's very tiny, and he walks around with briefcases with all his lyrics. This is woman behind us counter in a small town. I was on Opie and Anthony a couple weeks ago, and got loose with Vedder. Like, it just kind of happened. And I don't think I've ever seen Opie laugh that hard. And making Opie laugh that hard, it's like pleasing your father.
Yeah, it's a nice feeling.
Oh, my God, I've done so well. My dad's proud of me.
Yeah, it's nice when they're
He's
laughing.
the king.
Yeah, I know. I love those guys. And it's nice when you make them laugh. It makes you feel good in your fucking
when you get them all going,
hot.
like, you can make Jim laugh because he's the most like comic. Little Jimmy Norton is like a comic. He's just a comic. So like we share that same DNA, and like Anthony's, I think he really just could have been a comic, but he just went another route because Anthony's super fast and his references are banana. You can't stump him. So you get Anthony going. But Opie really is like the patriarch in the room.
See, I think Jimmy's hard to make laugh. I think Ant is easy to make laugh because he's more like drinking buddy vibe. But because Jimmy's a comic, I feel like he's got a stronger filter. So if you make the comic laugh, it's even harder. You know what I mean?
Maybe it's because I know I know his cracks and creases. I know his weak. Like I know Chris Sarandon from like Dog Day Afternoon will get him.
Right.
I know the weird shit that will never not make Jimmy. You want to talk to him? You talk to him. He'll kill me. Chris Sarandon in his robe. We took all kinds of drugs. Uppers, downers, blues, screamers. I know that makes Jimmy very happy. There's just certain things I know I can get Jimmy with at all times. And like Anthony's like more of a oh good, I got Anthony too. But Opie really was the one. Opie laughed so hard during that Vedder run. He put a video up on YouTube. Opie TV, I think, is his YouTube channel. Is that it?
Right.
And it's me and him. He's
or Opie Radio. Is it Opie TV or
that's he's at Opie Radio, but it's basically just me in the elevator doing Eddie Vedder.
I mean, look, you got your things. I wish I could do those fucking voices.
What's attracting to you? What attracts you to older women?
Oh, you don't want to talk about your voices?
You're my guest.
I wanted to.
If there's time at the end.
All right, listen. What attracts me to older women? I don't know. It's probably got something to do with the fact that I'm adopted. And why you stop sitting like that, dude?
What did I do?
Me out. Stop it.
I have no idea.
Stop it, dude. You look like you're thinking about stuff over there. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm hosting a podcast.
What are you
it's kind of my job.
You're fucking stroking your beard. You got your finger in your mouth. Cut it out, dude.
Dave, did you notice any discernible difference in the way I was behaving?
You didn't see the way he was just sitting like
All right, for the listener. I'm in a chair with arms on it.
Right.
I got my elbow on one of the arms. So instead of putting my fist under my chin like fucking King Lear, all right, don't make a big deal out of it, Joe. I sat down and I rubbed my beard and one of my fingers went in my mouth by accident. That doesn't mean I'm pondering, how do I slam Joe and his stupid Zappa tattoo, you know?
What attracts me to older women?
How should I? Now I'm like, how do I sit?
It was just too funny looking, dude.
I had my hand.
It looked so funny.
Open palm for the listener. Open palm. I have a weird, big, bushy beard. Open palm on my beard. My pinky was on my top lip like this. Correct?
Yeah, but you were scratching with these. You were playing.
That's what you do with a beard. You scratch it.
Yeah,
That's the only reason you have one is you have something to play with when you're bored because you quit smoking.
Right. Start smoking again.
No,
I know. You were
smoke cock. Why do you like? All right. Why? But I don't know. But I thought you were teasing me. I thought you were making something up because you were like, stop sitting like that, dude.
No, it was fucking give me the willies. Why do I like older women? I don't know.
70? What's the oldest you've had?
70's old, man.
What if it's a hot 70?
There's only been Raquel Welch is the only hot 70 there is, right?
Yeah. Keep talking while I grab my iPad.
All right.
What is it about them?
I think it just goes back to the fact that I'm adopted and there's like some.
No, I don't know.
There's probably
Stop
some.
saying that.
There's probably some like abandonment issues that come along with that. So you tend to find a woman who coddles you a bit attractive for those reasons.
I never knew you were adopted.
I'm adopted, yeah. Yeah.
How did you find out? What age were you when they told you?
I've never not known. They've told me forever.
Well, when you were a baby, you didn't know.
But I can't remember that. I can never remember.
You're like, I never
knowing.
Didn't know. So you're like, gah, who are these people?
No, I never. There was never. I was adopted at 9 days.
Your vagina does not look familiar.
No.
Gah.
At 9 days, I was adopted, and I don't remember being told. So they must have just told me incessantly since I was very young.
Did you meet your biological parents?
I have not met them.
Have you tried?
I have not yet. No, but I'm considering it.
Why?
Just the older you get, there's just more that comes out of the woodwork, with like sort of subconscious issues that you didn't realize were there and questions that you kind of want answered. It's a weird thing when you don't know if you have a predisposition to cancer, for example, or what your family's blood history really is. Death. Sure, yeah. But I mean, this is deep stuff.
You're going to pull your adoption. The fact that you're adopted, you're going to pull that and turn that around into why you're more like everything feeds into your fear of death.
I think it all stems from
it's like gravity.
Well, I think it all stems from
pull everything towards that one problem.
I think it all stems from the adoption versus the fear of death. I think everything's a product of the adoption.
How the fuck does being adopted affect your fear of death?
Dude, like I said, like
it should be a fear of birth.
There's a huge question mark there.
Abandonment, sure.
I'll tell you what fucks with your head.
All right.
When you go
snakes,
when you don't have somebody there to go. First of all, I am terrified of snakes. When you
don't ever tell anybody your biggest fear.
I'm terrified of snakes.
And don't ever tell anybody when you were born.
And cock.
Don't ever tell anybody when you were born.
Why?
Just if people do that kind of stuff.
Your birthday itself?
The time of that birth.
Oh, I have no idea.
How could you? They didn't tell you.
I know they threw me in a
dropped
fucking
you off
bucket.
like fucking Annie.
I know, right?
That's your new name, Annie.
Annie, little orphan Annie.
It's a hard knock. That's MASH too. Listen.
Yeah. This was what fucks your head up, and this is what you realize when you get older, being an adopted person. When you don't have somebody that can say to you, "Here's when you were conceived. This was the plan. We were so happy when we found out you were pregnant. When you knew it was on purpose and all that stuff, first of all, there's all these questions. Why did they get rid of me? Was it an accident?
Right.
Were they broke? Were they immigrants? What happened? You know? Then you start going, Jesus Christ, that could have been an abortion, man. How close was I to being an abortion, dude? How fucking close?
If you were born you were not close.
Listen, I get...
Because you were 7 months past...
You're going through
aborted time.
But you're going through what I went through like years ago of like, of course, logically.
So when you were 3 years old, you knew you were adopted.
As far as I can remember.
But that's weird to me.
I don't remember my
your parents established a boundary with you early, like, hey, how are you? Don't get too comfy. We just picked you up.
No, that's not.
We went to Macy's. We got some J-Glow perfume for your mom.
All right.
I got a couple tires downstairs in the automotive department, and we got you.
All right.
We needed a half Egyptian, half Italian baby.
My parents always treated me like blood. They did make me sleep outside, and I'd have to eat my meals outside. But other than that,
like
they treated
me
great.
An adopted dog.
No, they told me because they didn't want to hide it from me. You know?
But I think at 3 or 4 or 5, you have no memory of them not knowing. So I think, and what do I know about all this? But it just seems like something like let a kid live a little before you drop the hammer on him.
Well, I think the opposite. I think it was better that they did tell me early. Because then it wasn't a hammer. You see?
Yeah, but you're going to therapy about it now.
Well, I think...
So it's a longer range hammer. Because here's the thing. A 5-year-old can't process what all that means. And at like 18, 19, you won't care because it was blood the whole time.
Well, I mean, look.
I found out my mother was adopted.
Right.
All right. Which meant my grandfather, Red Ferguson, who is my all-time hero, my closest relative before he passed, obviously, like my guy. This was my hero. And it made no difference whatsoever because he was still, if I was in a court with my hand on the Bible, or if you put truth serum in my veins, I would still tell you that's my blood relative.
Sure.
Because I was like 19 when my mom told me, I just went, well, I don't care. That's my grandfather.
Well, all people process it differently. There are people that are told from birth that it doesn't affect them, and it didn't affect me for a long time, and it's affecting me a little more now. There are other people that get told later in life and have breakdowns over it and can't believe, how did you hide this from me? And you know what I mean? It's a very tricky thing.
And you're close with your parents, right?
Very close.
I mean, you take care of your mom.
They're blood. I mean, yeah, they're blood.
So that's the important thing I was getting at.
Yeah,
is they
of
are
course.
blood.
I don't look at them as anything less than biological parents.
You don't look at them like Paul Reiser and say, who are these people?
No, I
You don't look at them like Jerry Seinfeld and go, who are these people?
Yeah. Who are these people?
I think that was Romano.
It was a real.
Oh, who are these two? Oh my God! They picked me up at Sears Auto Body.
You guys are crazy. Is that a good Romano?
It's pretty good. Both of our Romanos sound like Barney from The Simpsons. Wow, you fell on Aerosmith. Oh, I got that bug beeper right there.
I want to learn how to do voices.
My wife's in the other room going, are they fucking?
Your wife's here right now?
Yeah, she's in the other room. She's in the bedroom waiting. You know what I mean? Hey, good, like a good girl.
Will you teach me how to do a voice? I want to do my own Keitel, not to do it anywhere, just so I could do it when I'm alone to satisfy my
Keitel's tough
thirst.
to teach. Walken is easy to teach. Walken is, you want Walken?
I feel like I can almost do Keitel almost, I feel like. Because of you.
What makes you think you have it in? Joe, I don't know what you think you know about doing a voice of me, but it takes days. You're attracted to old women and trannies. You don't think that's more interesting in a podcast scenario than a goddamn learning annex about how to do a goddamn voice? Joe likes chicks with dicks. Explain that to me. Bam, bam, dick, cock.
I never get tired of it, dude. I never fucking get tired of it. Don't teach me Walkman. Teach me another one.
Well, I don't know how to teach Keitel.
I just didn't want to get too heavy into the adoption stuff.
Well, let's move on. Let's talk about how you're in love with the transvestite.
I'm not in love. Did you fall in love?